South China Sea and the DPRK's nuclear program, just some of the issues on the table as China's foreign minister kicked off a three-day visit here to the United States. After their meeting, Wang Yi and U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry talked to reporters in a lengthy news conference at the U.S. State Department. CCTV's Sean Caleb joins us from the newsroom. Sean, they had a lot to talk about.
They certainly did, Asier. And where to begin? For the third time in a month, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi met face-to-face with U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry. Clearly, the two nations have issues they hope to bridge the gap on. But above all, these two are consummate diplomats, and during a lengthy news conference were blunt and forthcoming in assessments on where they stand on global issues.
Anyone expecting diplomatic fireworks between China and the United States over a potential host of issues had it wrong. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry and his Chinese counterpart, Wang Yi, stood shoulder to shoulder at the U.S. State Department, pledging their desire to work together.
Both sides know that China and the United States have far more common interests than areas of disagreement. And we work together on so many areas that far outweigh areas of friction.
On the topic of tension in the Korean Peninsula and DPRK leader Kim Jong-un's recent missile test and the launch of a rocket into space, both China and the U.S. say it is a flagrant violation of UN resolutions, and there is no place in the world for a nuclear threat from the DPRK.
China would like to emphasize that the Security Council resolution cannot provide a fundamental solution to the Korean nuclear issue. To really do that, we need to return to the track of dialogue and negotiation. And the Secretary and I discussed this many times, and we agree on this.
Those violations threaten not only the peninsula, but they also are a threat to international peace and security. We therefore need to respond accordingly, and we agreed today to continue our efforts to make certain that response is forthcoming rapidly.
While both countries believe Kim Jong-un is completely wrong, the U.S. wants punishing United Nations sanctions, while China is supporting a lesser penalty that would get Pyongyang back to the negotiating table. Where the two nations found little common ground is the South China Sea.
We want to halt the expansion and the militarization of occupied features. We think everybody benefits by true demilitarization, non-militarization.
China's foreign minister says it too wants peace, stability, and free navigation amid the South China Sea, an area that ships an estimated $5 trillion worth of goods each year. Wang points out there are several islands in the waters that China has historically claimed, and any military buildup in and around the region is done for defensive measures, much the same way the United States does in Hawaii.
China, United States, and ASEAN countries have all committed to non-militarization. We hope the parties will work together in the same direction. That is to say, non-militarization is not the responsibility of one party alone.
Twice in the past 5 months, the United States has sailed U.S. warships within 12 nautical miles of the islands in question, and the U.S. military vows to continue pushing the envelope, something China says is dangerous and counterintuitive to stability in the region.
Now, while the two sides don't see eye to eye on all issues, they recognize as superpowers and the two largest economies in the world, it is in the global best interest if they continue an open dialogue, not only on the South China Sea, but other concerns as well, such as human trafficking and cybersecurity. Asier?
CCTV's Sean Caleb, thank you.